Hi, and welcome to Classic Car Cave. This is the 23rd of December 2022, and I just want to thank everybody who subscribed, everybody that views the channel, watches the channel, the thumbs up and so on and so forth. I really appreciate your input, and especially some ideas and things that people have put to me, which I've used, which is great. But I just want to say Happy Christmas to you. I won't say Happy New Year because I'm going to be back before the New Year, because there's always something to do in the garage. So I'll wish you a Happy New Year when we get closer to it after Christmas. So I hope you have a great Christmas. Just be good to each other. That's all we can do. Just remember when we stood in queues in shops, which does my head in anyway, at least we can stand in the queue and buy something. We have the money to do it. There must be millions and millions of people that can't do it. So I guess you've got to be thankful for small mercies, as it were. Anyway, enjoy your Christmas, and hopefully there'll be no tears or batteries run out or whatever things that happen with kids. And it's really for kids Christmas, in my opinion. Because what happens now it's the winter break for a couple of weeks. Some of these shops or some of these businesses shut down for the whole 2 weeks. So you're kind of screwed if you don't get the stuff you need beforehand. Anyway, happy Christmas, and I'll catch you before the New Year. Amir is getting on with this. He's built the bottom of the door. He's got to clean it all up yet. But we're going to put a new door skin on that. We've got this wing on just to look at it and see how it sits against this new bit I made on the bonnet here. Got a lot of cosmetic work to do. There's two pieces. The reason this is missing here is it was rusted on the original car. We've got them, but we have to make new ones, and they have to be bead rolled into that triangle there. But just to give you an idea of roughly how it looks, you can see it'll be quite nice once it's all. I've got to make at the back of the hinge, these hinges that I made up, I've got to make a receiver for that, but I'll have to try and find a piece of tubing to make it work. There's a lot of work to do on these wings. You can see they're quite badly dented and damaged, so I'm going to take some period of time. Right, so I've made up the running board. The idea is I've bought these strips. They're actually carpet strips, but you could imagine something like that if once the vehicle's painted, and then these would be in a different colour, and there'd be like non-slip treads as well on it. I've built a new back. This one now, as you can see, is going to be at the right height all the way along. And this black line, hopefully it's showing up, but this is roughly where I would do the beading. And the same here, this is the same distance, 4 centimetres. Hopefully that's showing up. Not very good, the line. So we would bead that bottom one, and obviously the top one's already beaded. So, and I've just done a nice little round corner on it there. That's not completely finished yet. I just cut it with a nibbler. But I think just that round edge will do. Yeah, but that's how it would look. I've got all these working again now. There's, I've got to buy some spring-loaded clamps that go here. That's at this bottom bit here where these 2 holes are there. And there's another 2 go down there to pull the bonnet down tight, which I think I can get from Woolies. It's a company in the UK do old stuff like springs and Brooklands glass and that kind of stuff. So that's where we're at. But it's coming on. I think the general idea is there. Not quite in line yet, but we're getting there. We got a bit of dust off the car. My wife's coming back tonight. She hasn't seen the car since it came back. So I gave it a blow off and give it a clean off. You can see now, and that's just showing it. There's been a lot of dust on it. But the colour, I think, is really nice. I think with the beige, it's going to look superb. Yeah, and it really looks the part. As I said, unfortunately, this Imperial Maroon is not. It doesn't get its justice with these artificial lights, and they are LED, these ones. But out in daylight, it looks really great. So hopefully she likes it when I show her tonight. So I've got the flooring. That's 2mm thick steel. That So it's got sat on that front cross member which we've made up, and there's a piece of angle iron in the back, but we're having a bit of trouble with the welder. We thought it was a problem with the welder, but what I've realised is I went out the other day to get gas, new MIG gas, and unfortunately the woman's given me TIG gas, and that won't work. It's actually helium and 82 or 84% argon, and it just splatters. You don't get the penetration, so unfortunately I've got the wrong bottle, so we put the cap back on it there, and I'll have to take it back, but now I have to wait until the new year, so they're shut for about 12 days. The joys of Christmas and New Year, eh? Anyway, but you can see Amir's made this, and we've made these holes here so we can bolt it back on. He's going to make the same on the other side there. And then what we have to do is make the front piece and the toe board in the front. But that's 2mm. We also tried some XJ, I think they are, or XF, I think Jaguar seats. They're brand new. All the motors, everything in them, but unfortunately they're too big. It's going to need a bench seat in here. So, yeah, and he's working on it. He's put all new base in it, but now we don't have the MIG. I'll use the TIG welder. So there's a lot of TIG welding got to be done anyway on here, for instance, and around the back here. So I've got the TIG set up. I've got this little chair. I'll put a cushion on it, and the nice thing is I've got this table which is hydraulic, so I can just pop this up and down to exactly what height I want. It'll make the TIG welding so much easier. But yeah, so that's it. That's how it would look. So today we need to cut this up a little bit and make sure, so you can see it's too high there. It's just under a centimetre too high, so it needs to come down over those hinges. So I'll do that one, and then we're going to cut this one in half so it's manageable. We'll bead roll that. That'll give us one side at least. And again, this door we'll cut off. We'll keep all this. We'll just cut it round the door here. Oops, sorry. Cut it round the door here and put a complete new skin on it because there's so many patches in it. So 1, 2, 3. And the frames are not too great inside either, so we'll get that done at the same time. But that's how it should look, something like that, with the beading on the bottom as well. Well, I've cut this now. This was actually too far inside and it was at an angle, so I've cut it along the line of the chassis. And if you come in a bit more, it's just catching that. But I don't want to be able to see the bottom part of it. So we've taken the bottom piece and marked that up. And tomorrow we will, this is it here. So tomorrow he's made the corners for it. So tomorrow we'll do that. We can do it in one piece, we'll do it in one piece. But it's quite, you can imagine it's quite thingy there. Yeah, it's a bit, I might just make it in 2 pieces because I think we're going to end up bending it otherwise. So we'll make that up tomorrow and do what other things we can. Just now we'll just have to use the TIG, which is maybe good because I need the practice, and Amir certainly does because he's never TIGged before. So he's some little practice here on bits and pieces, and I TIGged this today. The thing I've found with it, obviously being older with TIG, your control has to be very good. You can see there I've done that one, and that's where it was welded on the inside, but it's quite nice. So I'll finish that up tomorrow and then finish it with the roll lock. But that's all welded all along here. I have to do this bottom sill. And yeah, there we go. On here it's nice because you can sit and you, like this table's hydraulic, so I can move it up and down to the right position, but doing it on the car, that's going to take a bit of skill level to do that. And as I said before, I did do a little 3-day course, probably 3 or 4 hours a day, but it was with a professional TIG machine that had cooling water running through it and whatever, and the difference in that compared to a DIY one. But it's the same thing with a MIG welder. I've had people here who've got Clark welders. You know, they're good enough for what they are, but your skill needs to be even higher, strangely enough. Well, not strangely enough, but it's the fact. The cheaper the machine, the more difficult it is getting over it, whereas a good quality pro machine works a lot better. And I think pretty much everybody that's had a go at the welding here that have a Clark or a DIY MIG machine can't believe how easy it is with you know, a semi-pro or a pro machine. So there you go. So as you can see, we're kind of getting a bit tight for space now. So the E-Type's under here, the Track Mini's under here, a little mini moke, electric mini moke for the kids is there. I've got my Cooper here, the XK150. We've even had to bring the pool table. It's got wood on it, of course, it's not on the beige. We even had to bring the pool table into play to put all the parts on. As you can see, it's a lot to put on. And there's all the other parts on these old settees. So the only thing we haven't used is the mini bar. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get to some even more storage, but there you go. So on that note, I will say stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, and enjoy your Christmas and New Year. I'll be back before New Year anyway, but enjoy your time off and just be good to each other.